Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the first part of my solo next phase by phase guide. In this guide it will be the smoke phase, and because it is the first video I will be going through some gear setups as well. As you can see on screen, there's some annotations. As soon as the videos for the other phases are made, I'll make those annotations live. You can click on those to go to whichever phase you're having trouble with, but this video right here is for the smoke phase, and obviously I'll be going through some gear setups. So guys, here is the gear setup that I always use. It's a full range. I go with Void on my actual one, and in my inventory I have Ceramic as a switch, which I switch in the ice phase, but we'll get through that later. As you can see, it's a pretty standard loadout. You can see under my Excalibur that is a Barrows Defender. It works as a shield. The reason I take that is because it gives you a chance of getting the item for the next defender, the tier 80 defender, and I'm going for that obviously. And you don't really need a really powerful shield. You only use the shield for if you want a couple of defensive abilities during the ice phase, and for resonance throughout the kill, just for some free life points. But as you can see, this is what I use. I take a full range setup mainly because I buy an instance, usually costs 800k, but I have the reduced instant cost from death, so it costs me 600k. It's really good because it means that you know which prayer Nex is going to use throughout the kill, and Nex can use either pray range or pray mage. But as soon as you go into an instance, the first kill is always pray mage, so you use range throughout the kill, and that's the way I definitely recommend, even if you're learning Nex. Because if you are using just a normal world, you'll have to take a mage switch in your inventory just in case, or you can go with full melee. That is a bit difficult, but I definitely recommend investing in instances, because it will help you out in the long run. All the money you spend will obviously be made back sooner or later, and you obviously don't have to worry about changing into mage gear. But if you do want to take a mage switch, instead of the Ceramic in the inventory, just take a Void mage helm, staff obviously, and change the abilities just to get some basic mage abilities in there. Nothing special about that. In smoke phase, there are two real special attacks that Nex uses. First of all, she has the drag, which is probably the most annoying one. It happens, and if you don't have anticipate active at the time or freedom active at the time, she will drag you towards her. She will stun you for 3 seconds, and she will take off your prayers. This can be quite dangerous because while you're stunned for 2 seconds, you can't eat, and she'll just be carrying on hitting you with her basic attacks, but you won't have any prayers on. So I definitely recommend making sure you always either have anticipate active or you have freedom ready, because if she drags you and you use freedom, you can run away. You still can't activate your prayers, but at least you won't be in melee distance, because that does do quite a bit of damage. And secondly, she has the no escape, which is whereby she will shout there is, and then a second later she will fly past one of the 4 center platforms. As you can see in the picture in the background, there's like a cross in the middle, and she will fly across one of those platforms to the middle. If while she does this, you are on one of those platforms, you'll be dragged to the middle, and she will stun you, disable your prayers, but she will also hit you for around 4k damage. That's really dangerous, but it's really easy to dodge this. All you have to do is stand around one of the outer ring, the outer circle, instead of on one of the center platforms. But I'll go through this in the video. So guys, this is what happens as soon as you go in. When she says fill my soul with smoke, you want to attack her, and the best thing to do is to use anticipate straight away so she doesn't drag you, and then run around to the side so that you're safe from the no escape attacks, and then just start doing normal DPS. When my anticipate runs out, I usually like to use freedom, just so that that has the ability. There you can see the no escape. If you put a bleed on her when she says there is, then it will obviously triple when she does the no escape, because she moves, and that is really nice to get some free damage onto her. But throughout this phase, you definitely want to use anticipate as soon as it's ready. As you can see me, I'm always clicking it, because the drag attack is really annoying and definitely slows down your kill, makes you eat a lot more food. You just want to damage Nex until she gets down to 160,000 life points, where she will call the first minion. And throughout this phase is probably the easiest phase in the whole kill. You just want to damage Nex, make sure you've got anticipate on, and if you want, you can use devotion to block all damage. And that's really it. What you want to do is go towards the minion. I like to use bleeds on the minions, just because it helps get them down quicker. The max damage is capped on them, and that right there is quite a nice smoke phase. Here we have an example of when a smoke phase doesn't go too well, when you can get dragged and you mess up. What you want to do obviously is overload up and attack next straight away, making sure that you use anticipate as soon as possible, because that means that you won't get dragged, and then you run around. But right here I ran around to the wrong spot. I ran around the corner, which meant that next came and meleeed me, so I had to run a couple of squares away, so she was only maging. The reason you're wearing the steadfast boot is so that she doesn't stay in range distance. As you can see there, she did drag me, freedomed and ran away. So what you want to do is, as soon as something like that happens where it just goes wrong, just make sure you're calm, use freedom, try and get your prayers back on and eat up. You don't want to die right in the first phase. That will be quite annoying. And then you just carry on DPSing. The worst thing is when you run around the corner, next will come and melee you, so you just run 1 or 2 squares away and that should sort it out, and then go towards the minion. As you can see there, because I messed up the first drag, my anticipate wasn't ready, so I got dragged again. And all you want to do is just make sure you safe up, don't want to lose the kill this early, and carry on killing. Some other things to note is that above your character you will see, as you can see right there, it says cough. That is the cough which drains your stats a little bit and it poisons you, which is why I always bring an anti-poison. It's not a lot of damage, but it can be annoying, and if you are getting close kills where you're running out of food at the end, it can also save you. As you can see there, I was pretty close to getting no escaped, so I just escaped out of the center, so I wasn't in the range of that. And you just carry on DPSing. There's really not a lot to say about this phase. It probably is the easiest phase. You just want to make sure you're wearing the gear that I showed you, so that she doesn't come in melee distance, because that can be really bad in this phase, but it's even worse in the next phase. Pray mage, make sure you anticipate. I'm going to stress that because that is the worst part of this phase. If you're not anticipated and you're not ready, you can get killed really easily by her. Even her standard attacks, they do hit quite hard when you're not praying. So that's going to be it for this video, guys. Obviously check out the other phases if you're having trouble with them, and thank you for watching.